Good morning and good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the AWS Partner Executive Briefing Series, Mission Critical Solutions for the Public Sector. Today's topic is Develop IoT Partner Solutions to Manage the Complexity of IoT Services for the Public Sector with AWS. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. Please note that you're listening and using your computer speaker system by default. If you would prefer to join over the phone, just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have an opportunity to submit questions to our presenters by using the questions pane of the control panel. You may submit your questions at any time during the presentation. We will respond to your questions within 48 hours after completion of the webinar. Thank you for your participation.
Hi, my name is Sandy Carter, and I'm Amazon Web Services Vice President for Partners, Startups, and Programs. And it is my pleasure to welcome you today to our Partner Executive Briefing. We are going to have a great time today. And even though we're in the new normal, you're going to take away a lot of actions and be excited that you are in this yet another virtual event. I love this cartoon. I find it quite funny. I can't remember, do I work at home or do I live at work? And I know that's how we're all feeling. So I consider it a great honor that you have taken this time to spend with us so that we can share with you some insights about IoT, one of the most rapidly growing areas for our customers today. I also just wanted to say I'm glad that you have joined us, and I'm hoping that you're healthy and safe because we do care about you as well. So today, what we're going to talk a little bit about is how business and technology as a combination can really drive that innovation and that innovative spirit. And it is nowhere greater than with IoT. IoT, of course, produces that data that drives innovation, that technology. But without the business side, then IoT just becomes data. You don't get the insight from it. So today we'll walk you through why business plus technology really helps you to drive innovation for your customers. Now we know that the space is growing tremendously. We looked at just one area of the business, which is IoT healthcare. And that market, just that market alone, will rise to over $400 billion by 2022. We know that healthcare provides a lot of great learning lessons because it really started first in the midst of COVID, leveraging more IoT than ever before. But other segments are just as big and have just as much growth in the IoT space. Because today, of course, it is so much valuable to have a drone or a sensor gather data than to use humans and maybe put them in harm's way. So what we'd like to chat about today with you is how your customers are viewing the world. If you think about it, you know, everybody, of course, wants to talk about machine learning, but before you get started on machine learning or even develop a strategy there, you need the data. Today, a lot of that data is coming from sensors, from drones, from using these to provide the data that you can get analytic insight out of and machine learning out of. So while today we're really hone in and focus on IoT, you know that your customer really wants to be at the center of all three of those. But until you can get to the center, you need to focus on IoT for that data. So what I'd like to do today, and Lorraine will follow up and really go through how you can focus on this area, how you can get activated on it, and how you can really scale out to build a big business for yourself and, more importantly, adding value for your customers. So let's talk about focus first. I put this funny picture here. It's funny, but it's really true, right? If you just have the data and that's it, and you don't have the data sorted or arranged or really producing that knowledge and insight to present it visually, you really don't have the value that you need. IoT will help us get that data that we need to start the process of ensuring that we can have those insights. Part of having insight is that you've got the right data source, you've got the right data quantity, and you've got the right data quality. And that is something that IoT can really bring to the table. Now, for you partners, we know that Gartner has said that we win more together when we talk about the whole bag, the whole solution, not just part of it. When we go beyond compute and storage and start talking about IoT and machine learning, that's where our customers really see the value. So how can you get activated on this area or enabled? Well, first, there is an IoT competency. I would highly recommend that you take a look at that. Our competencies are very valued, especially the technology ones by our customers. Also, just recently, there were two core products, the IoT Core and the IoT Device Manager. Those were both just released and supported on AWS GovCloud. Check that out because that enables you to have another layer of security, which is crucial for IoT. And then make sure you also check out the ramp up guide for IoT. There's some really awesome material there that can help you get activated and enabled even faster. Now, last but not least, I want to talk to you a little bit about scale. We have a couple of really powerful initiatives that can help you get started. One is called our IoT Service Adoption. And this can really help you look at IoT from a framework of your customer and look backwards on that. We also have some repeatable IoT solution packages. Repeatable solutions enable you to showcase something to a customer and then repeat it in multiple verticals. Very powerful scenario. We just shared one example of that in my newsletter that I send out to our sellers every Tuesday. And our customer and our partners ended up getting some interesting leads from that. And then, of course, Gartner says for a great customer experience now in the pandemic, that you really need to figure out how to differentiate yourself, how to show your value. Let our partner marketing team help you demonstrate that value, both by helping you do the messaging as well as do webinars around your uniqueness as well. So I know you're eager to get started and we want you to go and lead. So make sure that you're looking to move beyond selling just compute and storage. Both, of course, are essential, but IoT adds in that solution flavor that really showcases your value to your customers. Make sure you get enabled as well. Enablement is crucial for your success. And last but not least, leverage all those initiatives that we talked about and marketing. So now let me turn it over to a great colleague of mine, Lorraine Basset, who's going to take you through this IoT section.
Thank you. And thank you, Sandy, also for introducing us. Welcome. In this session, we will cover the AWS IoT ecosystem and our programs, the AWS IoT managed services, and a specialist domain, smart cities. For this domain, we will discuss some key case studies, including those provided by our panel following this presentation. They will showcase their solutions and how they partnered successfully with AWS. Why is it so important to provide programs and enablement to partners for AWS IoT? Because in our experience, every opportunity we work on for IoT requires partners and an ecosystem to drive successful business outcomes for our customers. AWS IoT provides fundamentals of IoT for device software, for control services, and data services. Device software enables you to securely connect devices, gather data, and take intelligent actions locally, even when internet connectivity is not available. Control services allow you to control, manage, and secure large and diverse fleets, and data services help you to extract value from IoT data. And we're going to learn a little bit more about those services in the oncoming slides. But we need APN partners to bring the AWS IoT story to life. Our APN partners' expertise spans across silicon, edge OEM hardware, edge software, connectivity, and domain-specific applications from ISVs and regional global system integrators. This community builds on the foundations of AWS IoT and delivers customer outcomes. AWS approaches partnering differently, and we work hard to enable APN partners to build long-term, successful businesses with AWS. We build and measure AWS IoT programs to drive overall partner success. And we're not satisfied until APN partners in every market segment have built large, successful, and sustainable businesses on AWS IoT. So why do we need a comprehensive IoT partner strategy? So the IoT technology stack is complex and involves assets and things such as microcontrollers, sensors, gateways, connectivity to OT environments, vertical platforms, let's keep going, cloud infrastructure, data analytics, and applications. So these complexities, along with customers' IoT skill set gaps and proprietary IoT platforms, all contribute to long IoT adoption cycles. At AWS, we see strong evidence that completing all 4 phases of a full IoT adoption, from prototyping to pilot to limited production to scale production, can range from between 24 and 36 months. And that's even if it even reaches the scaled production phase. To address these complexities and remain responsive to our diverse set of customer needs, APN partners serve customers as part of the edge to outcome partner value chain. This approach ensures partners focus on customer success and help customers to take full advantage of the business benefits AWS has to offer. So who's in the AWS IoT APN community? Here are examples of some of our partners, and on the top you can see the edge to outcome columns, and with examples of IoT APN partners who provide one component of an IoT solution for the customer. So from the left, we have the silicon partners like Intel, to ODMs like Jabil and Uptake, through to the largest GSIs on the right, which include Deloitte, Accenture, and Cognizant. Each partner provides a key offering and a unique proposition in the edge to outcome strategy. So why are we doing this? We want to accelerate our customers' time to value, and we can do this by providing pre-built solutions, or in this case, edge to outcome stacks to meet customer needs. So how do we enable this edge to outcome strategy? So to do this, we've implemented 5 programs. So from the top down, let's look at the Silicon Acceleration Program. With this program, we focus on working with our silicon partners to have their silicon parts and devices qualified with AWS IoT Edge services. Typically, when we start with silicon partners, we qualify their development or evaluation boards. These boards normally do not illustrate any particular application. So then we work with our partners to qualify what we call reference kits, which have a particular use case. Both the development and reference kits are listed in our partner device catalog for our customers to discover. The second one is the Device Qualification Program, which is a hardware qualification and benefits program that is open to all partners in the APN. It drives customer success by simplifying the selection of IoT hardware, and it highlights edge hardware partner offerings to customers. The APN partner community, AWS solution architects, and AWS sellers. Qualified devices are eligible for listing in the AWS Partner Device Catalog, which allows customers to discover IoT devices that work with AWS. The third program, the IoT Service Adoption Program, ISA. This is a program that enables build, marketing, and sales of IoT solutions. So marketing includes partner spotlights through blogs and social media, events and webinars, and solution space and AWS Field Ready kits. And sell is through opportunity sharing and marketplace. The fourth program is scaling with GSIs and SIs. This is where we have programs that enable the building of AWS IoT practices at leading regional and global system integrators. Lastly, we tie it together with repeatable solutions packages that we'll talk to on the next slide. So at Amazon, we work backwards from customer needs. And in IoT, our approach is to identify repeatable customer requirements. We develop solution packages that include partner technologies, AWS IoT services, and AWS enablement like Quick Start. Quick Starts are built by AWS solution architects and partners to help customers deploy popular technologies on AWS based on AWS best practices for security and high availability. These accelerators reduce hundreds of manual procedures into just a few steps, so our customers can build their production environment quickly and start using it immediately. Each quick start includes AWS CloudFormation templates that automate the deployment and a guide that discusses the architecture and provides step-by-step deployment instructions. As an example, we have packaged a repeatable OEE monitoring solution for discrete manufacturing with Hitachi Vantara that uses AWS IoT services, a vibration-based predictive maintenance solution using Banner sensors, and a connected appliance solution from Ayla Networks. All of our AWS IoT solutions can be found in the AWS IoT Solution Repository. So as we go through these programs, and as partners start to invest and grow their AWS-based business, they will be able to, and you will be able to progress through the APN tiers and leverage the benefits available to APN AWS IoT partners. You will become eligible for deeper engagements with AWS and receive greater number of benefits, such as additional eligibility for funding and marketing activities with AWS. Every APN partner has a different journey and a path to success. Part of your journey is determining which programs align with your capabilities and support your business growth to deliver what we all want, which is a memorable customer experience. So let's take a look at AWS IoT and what it is. So we've spoken a lot about the programs, and we've spoken about the need for business outcomes and the need to accelerate time to value for our customers. So our AWS IoT services help you manage that complexity. So, and for us, when building an IoT solution, so there are 3 questions that come to mind, and this is how we break it down. So how do I connect my devices at the edge? So that's everything edge-based, right? How do I control and manage and secure my devices? That is what we do in the cloud. That is the second question. And then the third one is, how do I extract value from my IoT data? So that's the analysis, right? So it's edge, cloud, and analytics. And in short, we have 13 pre-built AWS IoT services that are designed to accelerate the build of IoT applications. But those IoT services do not stand alone. So let's unpack how AWS IoT help with the challenges of building IoT solutions for our customers. So if you look on this circle, so AWS IoT provides a broad and deep functionality, so spanning from the edge to the cloud. So you can collect, store, and analyze device data. And AWS IoT provides specialized services for all these categories, which we've mentioned briefly in the other slide. So device software, which is our edge, IoT control services, which is our cloud, and IoT data or analytics services, which is obviously all the analytics components. Let's break that down just a little bit more. So with AWS IoT device software, devices collect data at the edge, and that is typically with Amazon FreeRTOS and IoT Greengrass, and sends it securely to the cloud, IoT Core. And through integration with edge services and AWS Lambda, devices can operate without internet connectivity. And when connections are possible, they can connect with over 130 AWS services listed, some of them listed here, and also third-party services. AWS IoT then offers IoT control services in the cloud. with serverless connectivity and messaging. So they offer fleet management and device update services through IoT device management, and device and fleet security, including audit and anomaly detection with IoT Device Defender. And we also make it easy to build IoT applications with little or no code with Things Graph. Lastly, AWS IoT Data Services provides analytics functionality tailor-made for noisy and intermittent IoT data, which is IoT analytics. It offers specialized services to get data out of industrial facilities and models the underlying assets with IoT Sitewise. And it also provides complex event detection with IoT events to automate operations and processes. So you can also extend more intelligence from device data through integration with AWS IoT Greengrass machine learning inference and Amazon SageMaker to build machine learning models and then deploy them back to devices to optimize processes and outcomes. Seems complex? No, just remember 13 core AWS IoT services that can integrate with 130 plus AWS services to provide a complete edge to outcome AWS IoT offering. So with edge and IoT compute capabilities, there isn't not a one size fits all. So AWS has brought a number of cloud capabilities to the edge due to customer demand and need, where there is no internet connectivity or minimal, and real-time processing and response is required at the edge. Because of this connected edge and IoT to cloud continuum that we're seeing more and more of, the edge to outcome strategy with our partners is critical to tie these AWS services and your capabilities together to drive a specific outcome and value to the customer. Let's touch briefly on one domain where we can show the value of partnering. And smart cities is a complex domain with so many use cases, ranging from smart buildings, transportation, utilities, public safety, public health. There's really a gamut of different use cases that fall under smart cities. So it's so complex that many smart cities projects have not moved into full production and are struggling to identify value in a timely manner. So to accelerate that time to value, we've partnered with ISVs and GSIs across the globe and who have built smart city solutions on the AWS IoT platform. So these platforms combine all of the building blocks required for a smart city, including, as you can see on the slide, including the collection, storage, and analysis of sensor and citizen data, and eventually to providing the nirvana of smart cities, which is a single pane of glass to provide visualization of data. Examples of partners who are working with us on this smart city journey on AWS IoT include Deloitte City Synergy, Verizon's NetSense, Siemens MindSphere, Quantella, ThingsLogix, and Accenture Smart Buildings and Cognizant Smart Buildings are really to name but a few. So one smart city example that we'd like to talk about is always the city of Virginia Beach. So where the propagation of cost-effective water level sensors, so that's powered through the Internet of Things, has expanded the available offerings of ingestible data streams at the disposal of modern cities. StormSense is an IoT-enabled inundation forecasting research initiative that seeks to enhance flood preparedness in Virginia for flooding resulting from storm surge, rain, and tides. So it uses flood modeling to address multiple flood types to determine probable areas at risk of inundation by utilizing bridge-mounted ultrasonic and microwave radar water level sensors alongside crowdsourced data collection verified by post-flood analysis. A really good example of the Internet of Things, data, and a partner solution to provide a very specific outcome for our customer. Let's look at another example, which is very much front and center for us all today, which is emergency response within a city. So we have a real world example of Novetta that uses AWS IoT and Snowcone to show a combined AWS and partner solution. Now I bring Snowcone into this because we were talking about the edge to cloud continuum, and Snowcone is one of our edge family products. During the disaster response, maintaining high safety standards is paramount, and knowing the location of personnel, vehicles, and equipment is critical to maximizing the effectiveness of first responders and supporting safety efforts. Tracking the location of these resources across complex response with participation from multiple organizations can be challenging. So let's just look at what's happening in California today, where multiple fires are springing up in different directions, just to show the level of complexity involved here. So these responding organizations often lack interoperability with local, state, and federal command centers, as well as with each other. And additionally, most available location tracking solutions depend on communication backbones, such as cellular or satellite networks, which can be unreliable, cost prohibitive, and difficult to use during disaster response operations. We partnered with Novetta, an advanced analytics and solutions company that is focused on mission success for its customers in the public sector, defense, intelligence, and federal law enforcement communities. The objective was to improve situational awareness during response operations by deploying a pre-configured software components at the edge. Novetta collaborated closely with the AWS Snow family team and the AWS disaster response teams to integrate with Novetta's solution called a Geon ISR. So now, with emerging IoT and machine learning capabilities, a Geon ISR is now deployed on the rugged AWS Snowball Edge compute optimized device, where it acts as a computing and storage hub at a temporary, and I stress temporary, incident command center. So a good example of really the edge to outcome stack, with AWS IoT native services, our partner solution, and AWS Edge solutions to provide a combined solution for our customer. So now I would like to hand over to Ali Hasan, who will be leading the panel with our two partners, Miovision and Veritoll.
Thank you very much, Lorraine. Thanks for that overview. It was extremely helpful. Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Hasan. I'm a Smart Cities Partner Manager with Amazon Web Services. After hearing Sandy and Lorraine talk about the value of AWS IoT services and how you can start leveraging these services in your own solutions to continue to innovate with AWS, I thought we'd spend the rest of this time hearing from our strategic partners on how they're actually leveraging the AWS Cloud and IoT services. So as I mentioned earlier, I cover the smart city space. Within smart cities, we're seeing transportation take up a major chunk of the IoT projects. An IDC report basically says 60 to 70% of the smart city projects are geared toward transportation. This could be anything from traffic management, traffic light signal management, autonomous vehicles, smart tolling, smart parking, transit payment systems, all of those sort of encompass into public transit. But that is where a lot of the energy focus for city mayors, DOTs, et cetera is. And that's also where most of the IoT use cases for smart cities. This is why today we have the honor of having with us two people from innovative companies. Andrew Moore is the Director of Strategic Partnerships with Miovision, and Devaki Baker is the CEO of Veritoll. So Andrew and Devaki, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Great. So let's kick it off by giving both of you the opportunity to introduce yourself to our partners and also introduce your company. Tell us a little bit about your company, what it does, what challenges it solves. So Andrew, let's start with you, please.
Yeah, great. So thank you very much, Ali, for having us here. So my name is Andrew Moore. I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships for Miovision. Miovision is an IoT smart city technology company. We're creating solutions that enable the collection of critical traffic data and insights for cities and government agencies with a particular focus on the traffic signal network and making improvements there. We capture continuous roadway data through our traffic link video sensor device that you can see on the screen, deployed at intersections, and derive actionable insights to drive societal benefit from the data we capture and store in the AWS cloud. These insights are used to improve the mobility experience for all road users, delivering outcomes including reduced congestion, reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, a more effective and efficient drive to work, and improvements to safety conditions along our roadways. Today, we have the good fortune of serving over 1,000 customers worldwide.
Very cool. Thanks, Andrew. Devaki, if you don't mind sharing what about Veritoll?
Yes, thank you. My name is Devaki Baker. I'm the CEO of Veritoll. Veritoll serves the tolling industry with innovative technology and professional services. We are introducing a shift in how tolling services are procured and operated by leveraging the major benefits of software as a service. Through tolling as a service, we bring together the people, process, and technology to the tolling industry and enable these services to be offered on a per transaction model without the many months and millions of dollars typically required to obtain tolling technology. We have two core platforms. Our AutoToll solution helps toll operators like our client Transurban verify that tolls are being charged and collected accurately, eliminating revenue leakage that impacts the cost of tolls to drivers. Our CrowdToll solution offers image review as a service. It's on mobile crowdsourced, fully enabled in the cloud for faster, more accurate verification with a virtually unlimited number of reviewers so that toll operators can scale up or down their operation on demand. Something at Veritoll that makes us unique is that we have a strong social mission behind all the technology that we build. We use crowdsourcing technology to let those outside the toll operation, the users and potential users of the road, to participate in the process as a means to offset the cost of their tolls. In our approach to utilize mobile crowdsourcing and cloud technologies, we are transforming how tolls are paid for by empowering users to collaborate in the toll operation, which to us is a win-win opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That truly differentiated market offerings from both of you. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the public sector space, within public sector, IoT transportation is seeing the most growth. So within your specific domains, what are some of the trends you're seeing with IoT devices, IoT sensors? How are these devices being used? And what challenges are they helping you solve for your customers? So Devaki, if you don't mind, maybe we can start with you.
Yeah, I think a challenge and opportunity at the same time is doing more with less. How do you use what state agencies and toll operators already have on the road in the most effective way? Big opportunity is to leverage existing video equipment, video feeds, and roadway traffic sensors to do multiple things. Agencies would be able to receive more data and process it through effective use of AI, machine learning, and the cloud without the upfront investment of replacing or adding equipment to the operation. We're seeing real-time video analytics and processing using services like Kinesis video streams in AWS in combination with commodity sensors and existing video equipment along the roadway to provide multiple services for traffic management and tolling. For example, you can use it for IP detection, traffic monitoring, and dynamic pricing. Since this equipment operates in the cloud, it doesn't require back office service, and it doesn't require replacing roadside camera infrastructure. You can introduce IoT platforms to efficiently process data in real time at a fraction of the cost. And it's not just cost money-wise, cost meaning time and the effort to implement these solutions.
Very cool, thank you. Andrew, Devaki mentioned cameras and videos. I know Miovision leverages cameras in a very unique way. So how are you seeing cameras and other IoT devices being utilized?
Yeah, I'll just touch on maybe our two core products and then get into the benefits of sensors and IoT devices in the context of our particular vertical. That there's two core things that we provide. So one, a portable product that's used to do traditional traffic studies, which is gathering traffic data whenever it's needed and wherever it's needed for that matter. And then we also have a permanent solution. So Miovision Traffic Link, this is the equipment that modernizes existing traffic signals, adding connectivity and 24/7 collection of multimodal traffic detection and measurement information. And so we've developed our own IoT sensors to unlock the data required to derive societal benefit in terms of mobility experience. In our particular world, some of the trends that we're seeing is that municipalities are growing as urbanization increases, but cities and towns often don't have the space or the budget to significantly grow their road networks to keep up with the increasing demands. And so that means they have to find new ways to move people through the roadway network and find ways to unlock effectively what's considered trapped capacity in these networks. That's why many cities are shifting to planning models that encourage space and environmentally efficient modes of transportation, like walking and cycling as an example. To succeed in these efforts, municipalities need to keep more cars and trucks moving throughout their existing roadway networks. And they also need to encourage active modes. As I mentioned, pedestrians and cyclists are key in that matter. To do all of that, they need access to rich multimodal data in order to make the proper decisions that are designed to, again, unlock inherent capacity kind of artificially trapped in the network. And so in some sense, the answers to congestion and mobility concerns exist in the ether, if you will. Cities are much more in tune now than they have been in the past with ways to capture and harness the benefits of data that historically have been quite challenging to collect and make sense of. And so sensors are imperative to capture this information that they can derive these insights from, generate actionable steps and process to follow to create that improved mobility experience that we're targeting.
Awesome, very cool, thanks. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the challenges you're solving, the way your company is solving these is very innovative indeed. And innovation is something that is key to AWS's culture. We continue to innovate by providing over 175 fully featured services to our cloud offerings. I'm interested to see how has AWS Cloud enabled you to innovate faster for your end customers, right? Well, what value is the cloud providing in your solutions? So Andrew, we'll go back to you to kick us off if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. So AWS offers us two critical capabilities, seamless scalability and world-class security. Our municipal customers don't typically install Traffic Link at every intersection all at once. The customer journey, in our case, has a number of steps. So pilot level projects to demonstrate how our tools can easily integrate with the city's existing infrastructure and processes. And then broader implementations take place over time to address specific challenges, leading to an increasing install base. And so that means we need to be able to scale from a few intersections to hundreds at cities that we're active in, and do that in a very short time period. AWS allows us to do that seamlessly and focus our technical resources on how to help cities solve traffic concerns and traffic demands, where we're not dedicating a tremendous amount of time in terms of managing that traffic data infrastructure. That's what AWS takes care of for us in that case. And that has tremendous value when we talk about these capabilities in front of our customers. We're not collecting for data's sake, we're collecting data to drive these insights, and we're handling it all in the back end through our work with AWS. The other element, particularly when dealing with the public sector, is demonstrating that any data that we capture through our sensors and our systems will be secure and only accessible to authorized users. So the world-class security that AWS brings to the table in this case assures our customers that their data will remain their data and under their control. And I'll say lastly, AWS IoT device management in particular has also been very valuable. All of our configuration is pushed through the device management technology, As we continue to grow our install base, the device management capabilities let us monitor performance, configurations, updates at scale across all of our customers, really letting us provide continuous value, from installation date and perpetuity going forward. And that's been quite helpful for us and valued by our customers.
Awesome, thanks. Can you share maybe a customer example where maybe this value has been come to life with the solution?
Sure, yeah. One great one comes to mind that's kind of followed the story in lockstep is the city of Detroit. It's a good example of how cities deploy our technology as well. So their first problem that our traffic link system addressed was that they effectively wanted to know when their traffic signals weren't working properly, both mechanically in terms of, and also in terms of kind of optimized performance. The primary way they discover an issue in their network prior to traffic link was through citizen complaints. And so they need to send someone out to the intersection, take a look at the problem, diagnose it. All these things took a bunch of time, and really they weren't able to be in a position to deliver the type of care, if you will, that they want to deliver to their citizens. And so by deploying traffic link, they increased their efficiency at maintenance, and repair costs were drastically reduced. And as they proved that out, they went and moved to a larger deployment. And so this larger deployment was focused on the data collection and using that information insights in terms of reducing traffic congestion considerations. And so data from traffic link in this case can help traffic engineers see issues, things like poorly coordinated signals along a corridor, for example, allowing them to make changes and then with that data measure the results. And so this whole experience that oftentimes historically has taken many years to get to that point can now happen on a continuous basis. And so it's real-time actionable information coming out of these traffic signal networks that can be implemented almost immediately in the field, and really shrinking that time to deliver value back to the citizenry from years or at least many months in a lot of cases down to almost on-demand type experience.
Very cool, thank you. And that's a great story. And I think we also have a case study that we can share with the partner organization later on around this specific use case. Devaki, from your perspective, any customer stories you can share around how the AWS Cloud has helped enable them solve those challenges around tolling?
Surely. For Veritoll, AWS has been a crucial part in our journey to offer innovative solutions to our clients. The cloud enables us to rapidly design and develop solutions for our customers without all the infrastructure upfront costs. So we can build more powerful solutions at cloud scale in months instead of years, which is what it would typically take in the tolling industry. Client example for us would be the Express Lanes app here in Northern Virginia. We provide live video feeds of the roadway through the app, real-time pricing, sign information, and you can also pay your tolls through the app. This app is built 100% on AWS and requires no on-site infrastructure to host it.
Great, thanks. That's very cool. I want to focus a little bit on data, right? The use of data. Obviously, both your solution and transportation data is playing an integral role. So in your domains, I know you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but what role do you see data playing in traffic management or tolling, and how is the cloud helping enable some of that stuff, right? So Andrew, we'll start with you if you don't mind sharing.
Sure, yeah. So in terms of the customers that we serve, traffic engineers are used to working with data, but our tools provide a much larger volume and variety of data. And so this is effectively a new domain for traffic engineers. One of the things that our system unlocks is this notion of automated traffic signal performance measures. So continuous data being captured out of an intersection and continuous analysis of that data to pinpoint where improvements can be made. And so that goes back to my previous point, which is the time to enact benefit is vastly reduced. And we're moving to help automate the process of seeing traffic issues within all the data we're collecting. An example of that is in the spring, we launched what we're calling safety analytics, which includes metrics for red light running, so vehicles going through the intersection improperly, and this notion called conflict, so close calls at an intersection when a vehicle and pedestrian may be close to interacting with each other in an unsafe manner. So for traffic engineers, being alerted to these issues from a data perspective is incredibly valuable. And one of the main ways of identifying higher risk intersections is through accidents and injuries. And so seeing safety risks before an accident happens and have the opportunity to mitigate the risk is a big improvement and quite effective in terms of decreasing risk at an intersection. In terms of the interpretation of data, we also kind of launched a product which is called Intersection Health. And so this is not just a collection of data, but actually deciphering the vast amount of information we're collecting to serve it up in a format so that you can, again, pinpoint exactly what needs attention. And so not only are we solving the data collection piece, but we're actually solving the second step in that process, which is how do I, in a meaningful way, sift through this abundance of information I have to get to what matters the most. And so as the amount of data available increases, there's an increasing value in being able to automate the exercise of combing through this information, looking for issues and serving up recommendations on how to make these improvements. And so data is the key unlocker of all these capabilities.
Awesome, very cool. Devaki, how are you seeing data being utilized in the tolling industry?
Data is such a wonderful resource. A good example for us is with our platform Veritoll. We are able to collect data from users or drivers that opt in to share their data on mobile tolling apps and other partner apps, and use that data to get continuous audits on the roadway. We are then able to offer that information in the form of audit reports to state agencies and toll operators, giving them the opportunity to have continuous, on-demand, end-to-end auditing of their toll systems and processes. This data helps agencies mitigate toll revenue loss and avoid customer billing issues that we've seen has affected a few states. As I mentioned before, our social mission is to share the benefits with the people that drive the road. So when they opt in to share their data with us, we use their trips or our audits, and in return, we give them credits back to pay for their tolls.
Very cool. That's definitely unique, getting money back for paying tolls. Haven't heard that one before. All right, so last question, we're running short on time, but both your companies are very innovative, right? They're already doing stuff at the cutting edge of technology. But I want you to look a little further into the future. And where do you see the transportation industry? How do you see it getting transformed in the future? And what role do you think cloud will play in this transformation journey? So Andrew, let's kick it off with you, please.
Sure, yeah. So, specifically to our part of the industry, most dense urban areas, simply paving our way out of traffic issues is no longer going to be a viable solution. And so the way forward is to move more people through existing roadway networks. And the only way to do that in our mind is through deriving insights from data. I think you'll see the traffic network and the vehicles that use these networks increasingly be generating data from the state of the system on a real-time basis. And we'll have new ways to act on that data to keep everything moving safely and efficiently. Ultimately, the power of this data, when it gets combined, when you start to see that the interactions between various elements within that network, that synthesis and analysis is very likely to take place in the cloud. It's kind of a logical destination for the vast amount of information we're collecting on a regular basis. As data becomes combined and we rely more on this data to keep this all moving, reliability and security will become even more important than it is today. That too points to a secure cloud solution rather than having kind of siloed standalone municipal data centers. I also think the combination of disparate data sets will be interesting going forward in terms of understanding where new unforeseen opportunities can be solved through further insights from all the IoT devices that happen to be out in the field, where we're combining data sets to unlock new capabilities and new ways to help our common customers out.
Great, thanks. Devaki, you're looking to the future for tolling?
Yes, we are. We are seeing the industry embrace innovation, and the cloud is definitely an enabler of that innovation. At Veritoll, we consider ourselves transformation agents. We are changing the way people can pay their tolls. Our CrowdToll solution, which offers image review as a service, it enables a future without tolling transponders, because we can process license plates through the innovative use of AI, machine learning, and crowdsourced image review at a scale and accuracy that it was not possible before. And the cloud is key, as it allows us to do all of this. It connects every system and allows us to scale our operation to meet customer needs.
Very cool. I'm excited. All right, so we're short on time, so I just want to take this opportunity, Andrew, Devaki, to thank you very much for spending some time with us, sharing about your companies and insights on the industry. I'm sure it was extremely valuable for the partner community. And now that we've kind of learned about the services, about your offerings, heard from our partners, I'm going to pass it back to Lorraine. Lorraine, what is our next step here? Where do we go from here?
So thank you, Ali, and thank you, Andrew and Devaki, especially for creating such innovative solutions on AWS for our customers. So how do we categorize an AWS IoT APN partner as a business that's designing or offering services or solutions on AWS to address customer business needs, and also who wants to pursue go-to-market activities with AWS, just like Miovision and Veritoll? So the overarching goal of the APN is really to enable our customers to easily find high-quality APN partners who, firstly, invest significantly in the APN practice, secondly, possess extensive experience in building and/or deploying customer solutions on AWS, thirdly, develop and retain a strong bench of AWS-trained and certified staff, fourth, provide well-architected solutions for customers on AWS, and lastly, provide extensive support to customers. Become an AWS IoT partner and grow with us. So as more and more customers across the globe are looking to take advantage of AWS IoT to meet their business needs, and customers increasingly engage with APN partners such as Miovision and Veritoll to help them do so. In fact, over 90% of Fortune 100 companies utilize APN partner solutions and services. So becoming an AWS IoT partner has an enormous opportunity to build a successful AWS-based business. Thank you for joining this partner executive briefing on developing IoT partner solutions for the public sector with Sandy Carter, Vice President of Public Sector, Global Partners and Programs, Ali Hasan, ISV Partner Development Manager, Smart Cities, and our panel, of course, Andrew Moore, Director of Strategic Partnerships, Miovision, and Devaki Baker, Chief Executive Officer of Veritoll. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar, Develop IoT Partner Solutions to Manage the Complexity of IoT Services for the Public Sector with AWS. You will receive a follow-up email within 24 to 48 hours with a link to view a recording of today's webinar. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.